Okay, how does this person truly feel about you right now? Immediately what's coming through is that this person is a bit distracted at this time. Divine Spirit, thank you. Can you provide us some clarity on this current situation, what this person might be distracted by, what you might be feeling at this time, and how to best move forward within this connection? So we do have the Four of Cups, the Hanged Man, and the Magician. You're not meant to wait. That's coming through really strongly here. You're not meant to wait in this situation. You're not meant to wait around as if like your well-being depends on someone else's. With the Magician card here, you are meant to focus your energy onto something else, something that can bring you a lot right now, something that can bring you a lot of pleasure and a lot of goodness, because we do have the Devil card coming out here. I don't know. I feel like you're about to be asked to do something really major. Yeah, and the Chariot card is kind of like rushing on the bottom, and then we have the Lovers on the bottom of the deck. You might be asked to do something really major. Now, this could be a major like admission coming forward to you, like somebody admitting something to you, admitting their feelings for you. This could also be like a really big leap of faith here. Someone actually might be ready to take a leap of faith with you. This feels like somebody who in the past has dealt with a lot of struggle surrounding opening their heart space. But with the Chariot card here, I don't know, it feels like the timing of this connection for some reason just works. Like you entered the picture at the perfect time. For some reason, that's significant here. It's like when this person is just ready and open and willing, and they see you, and they're not going to miss an opportunity to be with you. There's something very significant here about somebody who, it's like, it's almost as if they've made this mistake before, and they're not going to make the same mistake again. With the Page of Wands, yeah, you're coming in a very, like, this person views you in a very precious energy, like very precious to them. It's almost as if like, you don't need to tell them that, you don't need to tell them how to care for you. You don't need to tell this person that they should care for you. It's just kind of second nature to this person. With the Knight of Pentacles and the Nine of Cups, I'm also getting the energy of like this person isn't scared to express themselves to you. Like this person isn't scared to be themselves with you. And the Nine of Cups, they also feel like there's something really powerful to explore with you. And the Knight of Pentacles, I really feel like they're not going to miss this opportunity. So very soon here, it feels like somebody's going to be coming forward to you with an offer because they do not want to miss out on the chance to, it's like love you, to know you, to be there for you and with you. Don't doubt yourself right now. I feel like that, a little bit of that is coming through. Do not doubt your presence at this time. In fact, recognizing the power of your presence is going to really like magnetize your energy and draw this person into you. So focus on cultivating, it's like things that just make you feel good, things that bring you joy, because there's nothing stopping this person coming from coming in, but the way in which this person comes in, the energy that they're coming in, and the speed at which they come in is definitely going to be aided by the power of your love for yourself at this time. So just keep that in mind. Nothing too crazy to sift through. You do have an offer of commitment coming through here, for sure, though. If you feel called to dive in further to your personal love connection, I offer readings through my website. You can click the link in my bio. Okay, I'm receiving the channeled message right now that you've been chosen for a greater purpose. You've been chosen for a greater path. There's a reason why your path has never been easy. There's a reason why you have been through so much more than the people that you surround yourself with. And yes, everybody has been through things in this lifetime, but you are somebody who has been through, it's almost like every single thing that you could possibly imagine, so that you could understand, so that you can accept, so that you can give unconditional love and acceptance and support to so many people in your life. And I'm also receiving the message that you are not going to go without your reward. Like you are not going to move forward without your divine inheritance. It's almost like your angels are literally holding you back, saying like, you are not going anywhere. Like you are not allowed to move forward until you accept these riches, until you accept these blessings. And it happens when you're living in your truth and authenticity. It really happens when you fully accept and embrace who you are as a human being. I'm also hearing the words untouchable. Like you are not meant to be dragged down and thrown around by everybody's energy. Like you are meant to walk through this world. It's almost like untouchable, like as this shining star energy, as this light energy, as this high priestess energy, as this magic presence. Like you're not supposed to exchange energy with every person that you meet. You're just meant to exist in this world. And there are going to be times where you need to exist in your own world and allow people to just observe from the outside in. In fact, it feels like people in your past are going to be looking from the outside in. They're going to wish that they were a part of it, but there's also like this level of acceptance that's coming through. I really feel there's a lot of people from your past that are making peace with the fact that you have moved on. There's a couple that, aren't really going to find that in this lifetime. Like you are going to be observed by people that love you, and you are going to be observed by people that are very jealous of you. But none of it matters because you are so immersed in your own world, in your own energy, and in exploring your own energy. You are something beyond what the normal is. And I don't know if you've noticed this lately, but the normal societal standards of like what's cool and what's right and what's good is being broken down like more than ever right now. People are questioning why they like this person, why you're spending time with this person, why are we looking up to these people, confirmation. And we are moving into a time in this lifetime where we are healing ourselves, where we are coming home to ourselves, where we are nurturing ourselves, where we are no longer comparing ourselves to other people, where we are focusing on our own energy and our own journeys and cultivating safety within. And you are leading the way in this. You do not have to be a leader. You do not have to have tons of followers in order to lead the way in this movement that is taking place. You just have to continue to show up for yourself, love and nurture yourself, and show up in that light energy, because wherever you go, you will be recognized for the work that you've done on yourself. Not what you have, not what you wear, not what you do even necessarily, but the work, the inner work, the healing that you've done on yourself. And so maybe you just needed that little push today and that confirmation to know that you are on the right path. And you're on the right journey, and you're doing absolutely wonderful, and you should be so proud of yourself.
My dear soul, before you leave, stay with me for just a moment longer. If these words have stirred something deep inside your heart, don't brush that feeling aside. It is not by accident that you are here. There is a reason your eyes found this message today. Right now, place your hand over your heart and speak these words with faith. I am chosen by God. I am deeply loved. I am not forgotten. My prayers have been heard. My breakthrough is coming. My story is not over. Say it again. And one more time. Let those words sink into every wounded place within you. Let them reach the parts of your heart that have carried disappointment, loneliness, rejection, and unanswered questions. Heaven sees every tear you have cried in silence. God knows every battle you have fought when no one else was there. He has not abandoned you, and He has not forgotten the promises spoken over your life. The chapter you are living now is not the end of your story. What feels delayed is not denied. What feels impossible is still in God's hands. Even when you cannot see Him working, He is moving behind the scenes in ways you cannot yet imagine. And if this message touched your spirit, please share it with someone else. Somewhere, someone is carrying a burden so heavy they feel like giving up. Someone is praying for a sign that God still sees them. Your share could be the answer to that prayer. It could be the light that reaches them in their darkest moment. If you feel led to support this mission through a super thanks, know that every gift helps us continue spreading messages of faith, hope, healing, and God's love to people around the world. Whether it is $5, $20, or whatever God places on your heart, your generosity becomes part of every life this ministry touches. May God bless you beyond what you can ask or imagine. May He heal what hurts, restore what was lost, open doors no one can shut, and fill your home with His peace. And may the desires He placed in your heart be fulfilled according to His perfect will and timing. Remember this, beloved soul, you are seen, you are loved, you are chosen, and your greatest testimony is still being written. There is a particular kind of waiting that masquerades as patience. It looks virtuous from the outside. It looks like someone who has learned to be still, who has developed the emotional maturity to not rush things, who understands that some things take time and has made with peace with that understanding. And maybe for a while, it even feels like patience from the inside. Like you are doing something wise and measured by keeping yourself available, keeping yourself open, keeping your energy oriented toward a person or a situation that has not yet shown you what it is going to be. But at some point, and you probably already know the point I mean, it stops being patience. It becomes suspension, a holding of your own life in a kind of parenthesis while you wait for something outside yourself to move first. And the cost of that suspension is quiet, but real. It is the joy you didn't pursue because you were saving your energy, the opportunities you didn't take because you were staying available, the version of yourself that kept getting deferred because you were waiting for the right conditions before fully becoming her. That is what is happening. And the message coming through clearly, without room for misinterpretation, is that the waiting is over. Not because the situation has resolved, but because your life does not require resolution from someone else before it gets to begin. So let's start there, with you. With the fact that there is a person in this picture, are you a person preoccupied with their own internal process, their own navigation of a moment that is asking something of them? And it would be easy, dangerously easy, to orient everything around that, to make their distraction the central fact of your current experience, to read into the silence, analyze the distance, and spend the better part of your emotional energy on the question of what it means. But here is the thing about their distraction. It belongs to them. It is not a verdict on your worth. It is not a message about the future of this connection. It is simply a person moving through their own process, which, by the way, appears to be leading somewhere significant. There is something major forming, an admission, a leap, an offer of something real. It is building toward you, even if you cannot see the shape of it yet. This person has made mistakes before in love, specifically the mistake of letting something genuine slip away while they were still deciding whether they were ready for it. They are not going to make that mistake again. In the specific moment you entered their world, registered as important in a way they cannot dismiss, they will come forward. That is not a hope. It is what the energy clearly points toward. But that is their story to move through. Yours is different. Yours is about what you do in the meantime. And the meantime matters more than most people give it credit for. And you to understand about the power of your own presence. Because I think you have been underestimating it in a way that is genuinely costing you something. The quality of your energy right now, the degree to which you are living fully in your own joy, your own truth, your own expanding sense of who you are, is not separate from this love connection. It is not a parallel track that runs alongside it without influence. It is actually the primary factor in how this connection develops, at what pace, and with what quality of energy this person brings when they do come forward. When you are immersed in yourself, genuinely, not performatively, something happens to the field around you. You become, without trying, the most compelling version of yourself. Not because joy makes you more attractive in some calculated sense, but because there is something undeniable about a person who does not need you to complete them, who is already full, who extends an invitation rather than an expectation. That quality, that beautiful, rare quality of already being whole, is what draws people in with a pull that cannot be manufactured or faked. You are not waiting to be chosen. You are becoming more deeply yourself. And that is the thing that does the choosing for you. Now, I want to step back from the love story for a moment, because there is something else coming through that is bigger than this connection and deserves to be said directly. Your path has been hard. Not in the ordinary way, not in the way that everyone's path is hard, though that is also true. In a specific, accumulated, sometimes relentless way that has asked more of you than what seems fair. You have been through things that most of the people around you have not been through. You have carried weights that were not distributed evenly. There have probably been moments, quiet ones, in the spaces between keeping it together, where you wondered what any of it was for. Whether the difficulty had a purpose, or whether it was simply the random, indifferent weight of a life that had decided to be difficult. It was not random, and it was not indifferent. Everything you have moved through, every loss, every recalibration, moment of rebuilding something that had been dismantled, has been producing something in you that cannot be produced any other way. A depth of understanding, a capacity for unconditional love and acceptance that exists precisely because you have needed unconditional love and acceptance yourself. You know what it feels like to be in the dark of something, which means you know, without having to be taught how to sit with someone else in theirs. That is not a small thing. That is one of the rarest and most needed things a human being can carry. And here is the insight that I think changes the shape of this entire story when you really let it settle. Your blessings have not been withheld from you. They have been held for you. That distinction is everything. Withheld implies punishment, implies that something you deserved was deliberately kept out of reach as a consequence of something you did or didn't do. Held implies something different entirely. It implies something is standing at the door of everything that belongs to you, not blocking you from it, but waiting until the moment when you walk through in the full truth of who you are, when you are not performing, not editing, not making yourself smaller or more palatable or easier to receive. When you arrive as the complete, uncompromised, fully inhabited version of yourself, that is when the door opens, not as a reward for being good enough, as a natural consequence of being real enough. And you are closer to that moment than you have ever been. There is also this, something that feels important to name, even though it sits slightly outside the love story at the center of this reading. You are meant to move through the world differently than most people do, not above others, not from humanity in some way that creates isolation or arrogance, but with a quality of presence that is not meant to be scattered. You are not meant to exchange energy with every person who reaches for it. You are not meant to be available to every dynamic, every demand, every person who decides they want access to what you carry. A quality of light that is genuinely rare, and it requires protection. Not the defensive kind of protection that walls things off, but the discerning kind. The kind that understands the difference between genuine connection and the kind of contact that simply takes. Your untouchability is not coldness, it is sovereignty. And learning to inhabit it fully, to exist in your own world, to let people observe from outside it rather than inside it, is one of the most important things you can practice right now. Because people are watching. Some of them are people from your past, from chapters that have already closed, from connections that ran their course and ended. Some of them have made their peace with the fact that you have moved on. Others haven't. Others are watching your becoming with a particular ache that comes from knowing they had access to something they didn't properly value until it was no longer available to them. And this is the unexpected emotional truth of growth. The people who couldn't rise to meet you become the evidence of how far you've come. You don't need to feel triumphant about that. You don't need to feel sad about it either. You simply need to keep moving, keep building, keep investing in the inner work that is making you more fully yourself with every choice you make in that direction. Because that work is visible, not in the way that curated images are visible, not in the way that carefully constructed personas are visible, but in the way that genuine transformation is visible. People feel it. They recognize it. They cannot always name it, but they know something is different about you. Something has shifted. Something has been built from the inside out in a way that no external circumstance could have created. You are also, whether you have claimed this identity or not, at the front of something. The world is in the middle of a collective reckoning, a turning away from inherited standards and borrowed definitions of what a good life looks like, and a turning toward something more authentic, more self-authored, more genuinely human. People are questioning. People are returning to themselves. People are slowly, sometimes painfully, learning that the external markers they were told would make them feel complete have not and will not, and that the only direction left is inward. You have already been doing this work, not because you are exceptional in a way that separates you from others, but because your path gave you no other option. The difficulty stripped away the pretense earlier than it might have otherwise. It asked you to find your foundation not in circumstances but in something more durable, in the self-knowledge and self-love that remains when everything else falls away. That makes you quietly and without requiring an audience a leader, not in the conventional sense. In the most fundamental sense, someone who has already walked further down the path that others are just beginning to find. And the love that is coming, the commitment that is forming, the person who is moving through their own distraction toward the moment when they step forward clearly, will arrive into that version of you. Not a version that is waiting, not a version that has been holding its breath, but you, fully inhabited, you immersed in your own becoming. That is the you they are coming for. That is the you worth arriving for. So stop waiting for the conditions to be right before you live fully. Stop deferring your joy until the situation resolves. Stop holding the best of yourself in reserve for a moment that will come more quickly and more powerfully when you stop holding back. The offer is coming. The commitment is forming. The person who sees something precious in you is gathering themselves to say so. But right now, the most important thing is not them. It is you, fully present, fully alive, fully, unapologetically yourself. That is where everything begins.